Hi there to all of our community group leaders. This is the Teaching Series Extra for August 6, 2017. We're continuing our teaching series on the Exodus. Chris Matthews is preaching today, but just for the sake of continuity, I wanted to do the Teaching Series Extra to tie in your community group time with the message that is being delivered on August 6th in morning worship services. So we're continuing on the Exodus, and in Exodus 16 and 17, we are talking specifically about the provision of God, how God provided water in the wilderness, those emergency needs, and how God provided the daily needs of the Israelites as they traveled from Egypt to the Promised Land, specifically the provision of manna. God gave His people a very specific command. He said there's going to be manna on the ground every morning. Collect just enough for one day. Don't try to collect enough for the week. You're going to have just enough today, and tomorrow there'll be more manna on the ground. You'll collect just enough for tomorrow. The only exception to that was the day before the Sabbath. Collect enough for 2 days, so you won't have to work on the Sabbath. So God gives just enough for each day, and He gives us time to rest. So I think there's a time in our life where we pray this: God, give us today our daily bread. I remember as a student, as a young married couple, Paula and I, we just eked out a living, and it really was, God, we need you to provide for today's needs. But now I'm speaking to you as a middle-aged, relatively affluent man, and it is so easy to get sucked into the deception of self-sufficiency that I have everything I need. You know, I don't need to ask God for my daily bread until it's taken away. So here's what I would say: remind your people, those who are more affluent, that self-sufficiency is self-deception. God indeed provides us every day what we need, and we should not forget that. In fact, Jesus said, give us today our daily bread. We should pray that. We should acknowledge our dependence on God. But not just praying this prayer, we need to be an answer of this prayer for other people. There are people that are barely surviving today. So what do? In our abundance, in our affluence, we practice generosity. And I want you to be bold as a leader, and I want you to challenge your people. If you are not providing for the needs of the poor, you are not being an obedient follower of Jesus Christ. This means maybe supporting John 3:16 through some of your abundance. This means going through your closet and getting every stitch of clothes that you are no longer using and giving it to the caring center, knowing that somebody else needs that. You see, we need to pray this prayer, give us today our daily bread. We need to pray that for ourselves, but we also need to be an answer to that prayer for other people. I encourage you to be bold. I encourage you to invite people to practice generosity, because you know what? We never know when the tables are going to turn, and we're going to need somebody else to be generous toward us. May God bless you with boldness. Thank you for your leadership as you lead your community group, and may God do great things in our church as He reignites passion in all of us.